Hello, Sula here from MistyHilltops.com. Thanks for stopping by. In this video, I'm working on a traveler's notebook layout titled Flowers, and I'll be scrapping this photo. And I'm working with the digital scrapbook kit like Sunshine, which is available as freebie on my blog, MistyHilltops.com. Just one paper I didn't create, the one with the sunflowers, but all the other papers are designs from myself. So this layout is based on sketch number 37, which is also a silhouette cut template that either is or will be available as freebie at MistyHilltops.com. And so as you see, there are a number of freebies that are available at MistyHilltops.com. So if you haven't done it, I recommend you go check it out. So this is a mixed media page, which it means I'm starting by using one of my stencils to just use some watercolor to paint the background with using the stencil. And so this is actually quite a bit tedious and takes some time. I want to explain just quite a little bit about what I'm doing here. So first of all, I'm not looking for a clean design. I'm not looking for this stencil to be perfectly stencil, so I don't mind if the watercolor just goes underneath it. I just want a slightly patterned background that is a bit messy and artful. And also, I'm not looking for an exact square of something, so like I'm leaving out spots and adding other spots. I just want to make sure that the background is covered, even though there will be papers and other things added. Obviously I wouldn't have to even paint in the middle there, but more so on the edges. And you see, I'm not looking for this look that is perfect and evenly spread out. I don't mind if some parts are bigger and some parts are smaller and wider and all that. Then I have waited just a little bit to let this dry. There was a little more water involved, so it took a minute or so to dry. But then I use a different stencil to then use some texture paste to apply this texture paste to the page. And I have this little grid. This is actually with a stencil that comes with hearts and a grid that runs through the center of this. But I don't want to get the hearts, I just want to get the grid. And I love that, again, this is not just like a square or a rectangle of something, it's just a grid, an uneven grid pattern. And here I realize I need some more texture paste, and then I'm deciding I would like this texture paste to actually get some color on it. And so I'm using another yellow because this is a sunflower, so I'm adding some yellow to this texture paste just to give it a hint of color as I'm working. And I'm not looking again for like this regularly well mixed through colored background, but just more yellow here, more white there. So the kind of messier it is, the nicer it is for the way that I want it, the look that I want to achieve. And so again, I'm adding a little more yellow here, trying to add more color to some of the texture paste there. So making sure it's not evenly applied. So that actually takes quite a while to dry. This is not like my watercolor, which dries in a couple of minutes. I actually need to let it dry for at least a good 1 or 2 hours. Probably 1 hour is even not enough time. So after I was already working on the next page, applying some texture paste to that. So I'm using that time, but it took me a little while to stop here and let this page sit and rest. I used to use a lot of gesso for the background before I would apply texture paste, but I found that with the cardstock that I use, and that might be different with any cardstock, with whatever cardstock people use, but with the cardstock that I am using, the gesso just really warps the pages really bad. The pages get warped with watercolor and with the texture paste already, and there's quite a bit of warping going on, but it goes crazy when I add the gesso. Another challenge that I face when I want to now start to glue down the papers is that the paper really doesn't want to, the glue has a hard time sticking to the texture paste. So though the glue works really well with most materials, it does have a hard time with the texture paste. So I have to be very generous in the way that I apply the glue so that at some point it will stick, and it does stick. So like I have this page, you can flip it and use it in the album, in the book that I'm creating there, but the original process of applying that glue, it takes a little extra than when I just work with normal paper and glue. So now I'm ready to work on the rest of the page, and so here is another pattern paper. So these, except for the yellow flower background paper, these are all from the collection Like Sunshine, and the yellow flower paper I found just as a freely downloadable page. It might have been a free pick image, or it just might have been somewhere from a blog that I found on Pinterest or something. So this label I also created myself, and there's this template that will be available if it's not already by the time that you're watching this. And so this label will be included there. It's one that I actually created myself. So and then there's this little bunting. This bunting, exactly this one, will not be part of the freebie because this is just one of my dies that I have. So but there will be another type bunting that will come with this template if you get the template. But anyway, now I have this flower that still was supposed to go behind the picture, and this is just a stamped flower. I have some sunflower stamps, and I just fussy cut them because they don't come with coordinating dies. And then I have this title, and actually in the template the title is supposed to go at the bottom, but I think I will actually end up putting the title in a different place, just there, and not put it down there, because I had this lovely little stamp phrase that I wanted to add. And then I have these bees, because that was the goal. My mom, this is from my mom's garden, and I gave her a whole bunch of seeds for Christmas, which made her really happy, but among them, not a but, there's no but here, among them were sunflowers, and she's so happy with these sunflowers, and they are drawing bees like crazy, my mom says, which makes her happy because she wants the bees and the insects and all that. And so I got these die cuts or dies that are where you can put together these bees, and I thought they were really cute and worked really well with the theme, because my mom kept talking about how these sunflowers would be full of bees, and so I had to add the bees to this page. So I'm noticing the background paper is still not really sticking with that texture paste in the back, so I'm still applying a little more glue using my toothpick there, and making sure it really sticks, because I will cut apart the page there, and I think that's why I noticed, because I was supposed to put the flower title there. This is from one of my alpha stamps, and I love having scripty alphas. They are so much fun to work with. I usually fussy cut them out and then plop them onto a page, and I think they make a lovely addition. I like handwritten scripty things, all things handwritten, scripty, and pretty. So then these are garden word strips. You can find them as freebie on my website, mistyhilltops.com. Just search for garden word strips, and these are lovely additions to my pages. I like to use the word strips. They're simple embellishments. And then that's this page done, and all I need to do is now cut it apart. And usually I flip it around, as you see, And there you see I started the next piece of art. But with that bunting there, I was careful not to cut through the bunting. And so this is my page done. I'm going to leave you with some more close-ups. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Consider subscribing, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye.